So no shit. There I was, Sunday, right? Making Sundays great again, the Lord scale, all that good stuff. And I decided I'm gonna play new synthwave music. Granted, it's a cover. It's a cover for the 3-minute countdown, so everybody gets their notifications and all that stuff. And yeah, I got popped for it. So we changed it back. It is what it is. It was nice to have the Rocky 4 training montage for one stream, and then I had to trim it out. So it is what it is. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday. Time for another week of mandatory fun. Once again, I'm only doing mandatory fun today, tomorrow, and Wednesday this week. Again, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I gotta go do a thing. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, it's good to see everybody. Ace's Place, what's up? Let's rock today's face off. Today's. Okay, yeah. Eddie, what's up, brother? Let's go. Blessings to all the Chad holes. Chad, you're the man. I appreciate it. You're the man too. Yesterday was it was something. Yeah, it was something. Ken, what's up? With that son of a gun. It's good to see you, man. Lotto, good to see you from across the pond. Afternoon, Chad and Chad, as always. Respect from over the pond. Same. Goes both ways. Goes both ways. Damn YouTube bastages. Yeah. Yeah. St. Bificus, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Menjosa. Me, fat finger typo. Boo. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, man. Fantastic Monday. You know what, though? We gotta get into it. Let's go. We got stuff to do, kids. Stuff to do. 좋다. That's some skill, right? That's pretty fun. Dun, 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 dun. What happened to my earlobe? Nothing. They're fine. Nobody bit it off. I promise. Keys collects, yeah. Would have been better using a flamethrower. I don't think it would have worked out very well for the guy up against the boards. You know, I don't think so. It's always something with them losers, you know. We might visit something a little parallel to that today. We might. The main topic, again, main topics are always loose around here. It's the way we like them. It's it's going to be play sets, favorite play sets. I did grab a clip from my shorts on the old YouTubes, of my double-decker Charodrome. Because we're not in the Joe room, so if anybody wants to see it, we can check it out. I already got some good starred comments going on, but how's everybody's Monday? How you guys doing? How you feeling? Feeling good? Who's not at work? Me. Bill Veras says school's back in session, kids. Yeah. Cooters. This is what I see. This is what I'm talking about. I'm fucking off at work and talking about dollies. That is the way to do it, my dude. And where the fuck is she? I'm sorry. I was going to hit you with something, but oh, this for you.
Ay, mira, 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 mira. Para ti solo, Carlos. Oh,
What's up, son of GTO? Good to see you, dude. How you feeling? Mel Connor says Wolverines. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Wolverines. The day is good. I have coffee. You know, just chilling. Got the dogs in here. Mm-hmm. Hanging out. InDesign says I like the hat, Chad. Thank you. Adam. I don't like to talk about my own merch, but that's available on my merch store, which is linked in the description of everything I do. Yeah, there's a lot of fun merch on there. Mm-hmm. Mother Slug says I never got into play sets. I usually played in the yard and used nature as play sets. Yeah. I would kind of do both. I would take my play sets out into the nature. That's what I would do. Yeah. Dig trenches and all that stuff, moats. Eddie says, I'm in the pickup line to get my little guy, but I'm still here. Oh. Keys collects. I'm at work at home. Not sure if that counts. Yeah, it counts. It counts. Larry, what's up, dude?
Well, actually, 3 out of 5 wives agree that adding restraints to your bed makes it a play set.
You know what? I'll give you that. I will. Long intentional pause, but yeah, I'll give you that. Crystal clear, getting ready to go to work and get away from the mother-in-law. Ugh. I feel you, dude. I feel you. Does this hat come in red? I believe you can get it in red. I see what you did there. Yeah. Son of GTO is doing good and moving around. Good, man. Good. Glad to hear it. How did you get the 70s Joe scar on your right cheek? I'm not telling you. Jeffy just comes in screaming at everybody. Ghostbusters Firehouse in Boulder Hill, bitch. Dang. Cool. Mini tunnel digging is a lost art. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Yeah. Headcanon. By the way, friendly reminder, I'll be on with Headcanon tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. If you guys want to come hang out. Not saying it's mandatory. This is mandatory. But that, would be appreciated. Headcanon's an awesome guy. Playsets were expensive, but figures were cheap. Guess which ones my parents chose to get me? Figures. The Lost Leaders. Yeah. Kenzo, what's up, brother? Small town living. We lived across from a little creek. Lots of fun with the toys over there. Didn't have any playsets. There you go. Did you play Red Dawn? Did you? Yeah. Eddie says, the world is my playset, and I'm here to fuck shit up. Dang. Kenzo says, also not working. No flag points. Maybe not technically a playset, but my favorite are all the Real American Hero Battlefield accessories. Yeah. Having experienced most of the real world versions in the military, I've come to love and respect them even more. Yeah, 100%. Yep. I'd shown several times how I have the Hawk missile system, which is the MMS, right? That's why Hawk is named Hawk. Yeah. I had it right outside the window at my old office. I could just look outside and there it was, just a static display. It was pretty awesome. Bobby Vance says, I'm chained to a table. assembling more tiny plastic people. Good news is I started a well-deserved 2-week I start, as you were, a well-deserved 2-week vacation this Friday. Shit, yeah, dude. Live it up. It's America. Washing machine styrofoam made the best enemy basis. Yeah, styrofoam packing did. The scars from a horrible gardening accident. No, not even. Son of GTO, Castle Grayskull, and Snake Mountain. I had an AT-AT Walker and Ewok Village. I say AT-AT. I don't say AT-AT, so deal with it. You know how it is. Crystal clear. I love playsets. Their only flaw is the real estate they take up. Yeah. USS Flag. Anybody? Is it a vehicle? Is it a playset? Yeah, it's a playset. Yeah. Even those of us who put them on custom bases with wheels, it's still a playset. Yeah. InDesign says, I really like the new Origins Fright Zone. It's cool, man. I dig it. Justin Boof. At work, as always, plenty of downtime, which allows me to attend mandatory fun. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. The man gets theirs. You got to get yours, right? Yep. That's how it works. Anyway, what do you guys say? We go around the old interwebs and look at some bullshit. Oscar Goldman's OSI office, if you know, you know. I don't. Odie. I'm sorry, she's clawing at the door to get out. Nico, what's up, brother? Sorry I'm late. I'm here. Yeah, you're not that late. Still love my vintage Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. Very cool. Very cool. Which I've been using a lot in dolly photography. Are you making the Castle Grayskull Jawbridge eat nasty police officers because police officers bad? Are you making He-Man run them through with his sword and all that stuff? Because if you're not doing that, if you're not doing toy activism with your dollies, you're doing it wrong. Duh. Mother Slug, I grew up with Tinker Toy metal cars. Or trucks. By the time I got O-Ring Joe's, I was losing interest in toys. So that's my reasons not really having play sets. I got a Terradrome at a yard sale. Oh. Again, good old days. The good old days. Yeah. It's crazy. Cooking with Eric, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Kenzo says, funny. No play sets as a kid, but now with Grayskull, Snake Mountain, Eternia, Cat Slayer, Fright Zone, and Slime Pit. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. T-shirt time. Yeah, you are doing it wrong, Nico. Fuck that up. You fucked that up. Oh, yeah. And Crystal Castle. Really? Nice. Gun Bunny Customs. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Toy activism is for the toy game unity. Yeah, you ain't freaking kidding. Where is he? There he is.
I don't know, man. Seems kind of gay to me.
Yeah. We're just going to keep on laughing at that. Millennium Falcon is a playset if the flag is a playset, says Menjoza. It's not about the size of the playset. It's the fun you had with it. I firmly believe that the Millennium Falcon is one of those vehicle / playsets. I think you have different, like there's vehicle playsets, and then straight up playsets. But yeah, I agree. The Millennium Falcon is a playset and a vehicle. Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen. My good man M. Vargo is here. It's good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. How are the taxes? How are the doing of taxes? Is it good? What do you do when it's not tax season? Brush up on tax season? Like what? I don't know what you do. Yeah. Still to this day, I don't own a playset. Weird. Hey man, that's nothing wrong with that. Playsets are fantastic, but like Crystal Clear said, they take up a lot of real estate. They do. I don't know if I see it as like a jealousy thing, but if I had no play sets, I'd have a lot more space. Slade on Slade, what's going on, my friends? In and out of the chat, been raining off and on for this week, so the lawn got loud? Is your lawn screaming? I'll be listening, won't be able to leave a lot of comments. Well, glad you're here. I think you're saying the lawn got long, like tall, loud? Yeah, okay. I'm with you. Kirby, what's up, dude? Sorry I'm late punching pie on me. No, sorry. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Apparently, Brandon R., who we all know and love, from the Great White North of Canada, all our awesome Canadian friends, he somehow got put in timeout or jail or something, and he's unable to join, which sucks, and I'm trying to figure that out. But hey, buddy, if you watch this on replay, I'm sorry. That's that bullshit, kids. Headcanon. I did have one of the Hoth play sets from Empire Strikes Back when I was a kid. Can you imagine living in Florida trying to pretend you're on Ice Planet Hoth? Yeah, because I lived in fucking Florida too. I still have my Hoth Rebel Trench or whatever it is playset, the Hoth Rebel base. Somebody will actually meet, the one with the Probot and you're pressing it. Yeah, I still have that. Obviously, I don't have a probe droid on it, but I do have the playset, and I have a bunch of my Snow Joes hanging out on it. So, makes good diorama piece. Plus, it's complete. And if I ever choose to get rid of it, it's easy peasy. Are you laughing at me? Huh? Punk? You want to go? You want to do this? JJ, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Kenzo scored a $10 Hordak at TJ. What? $10 Hordak at TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx. Crystal clear. If it's made of cardboard and intended to display figures, does it count as a diorama or a playset? That would depend, I suppose. The Migos Star Trek one, which is like that laminated kind of, that's a playset. The Sears Cantina playset, obviously with that version of Snaggletooth, that's a playset. The Land of the Jawas, the Hoth playset, yeah, those are all playsets. I mean, yeah, they have some plastic and cardboard, but I don't fucking know. Hey, Crusty Old Crow's here. What's up, dude? Embargo says, I just watch YouTube when I'm not doing taxes. That's what I'm talking about, buddy. Good to see you. Sorry. Largo, pre-Star Wars playsets were mostly laminated cardboard walls and a bit of dolly furniture. That's true. Migo Batcave. Hey, Enterprise Bridge. Look at that, right? We're on the same wavelength. Adventure Team headquarters. Colonel Austin's boss. Yep. Oscar Goldman's OSI office. I do have the Bionic Woman playset backdrop. Like the laminated cardboard because of Meldo. I do have that just because of, the haunted Meldo image on the back of it. Toy Odyssey, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I'll return that to you. Thank you very much. Gun Bunny. I prefer small play sets like the Bivouac or Outpost Defender. Those are good ones, yeah. To me, they had more playability and versatility. Bigger play sets like Grayskull were always a little disappointing to me. Totally understood. Sorry. I did a lot of talking yesterday, and so my voice is it's paying for it. Grass got tall, probably about 12 inches. I'm right behind you. Not so much from storms. Obviously, I do live in the high desert, but I water the shit out of my property. Absolutely. Kirby, the only playsets I had growing up was Castle Grayskull, Cobra Terradrome, and the last was the G.I. Joe General. Vehicle playset? Yeah. The General falls under that. My argument, I would say the General is just like the Millennium Falcon, right? It moves like the Falcon. You can pick it up. It's got the landing gear. That's the handle and all that stuff. The General, right? Obviously, it has big ass tractor tires, but it holds a shitload of figures. And yes, it's a vehicle playset. I love the General. I love it. That's one of my like adult collector loves. I mean, I was already out of Joe by that time, you know, skateboarding and punk rock and all that stuff. Hey, did you guys know punk rock? Did you guys know that I skateboard? Did you guys know that I'm into punk rock? If you know, you know. Got to have some fun with it. I'm going to pause X right here, and we gotta talk about some stuff. Then we'll come back to play sets. You like that? That's from around the web. Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this? Yeah. So, yeah, this guy's Professor X now. Anybody? Bueller? Mother Slug says, with all this rain lately, my state is in a drought. Since last year, that's sad, given my state needs 11 feet of water across the strait. Jesus. Negative. No, sir. Yeah, so this guy is, he's Charles Xavier. Christopher Abbott. I don't know anything about his acting. Justin Booth says, I'm not surprised. He looks like he has the gravitas for the role in his mouth. Am I right? I don't know where you're going with that. Yeah. Hey, Jeffy has a question.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah. Dude looks too young to be Professor X. I don't know where they're going with this X-Men. I'm interested. Bradley Cooper is not supposed to be Cyclops. Not even a little. We showed the guy who was playing Cyclops. DEI Charles? Yeah. Why does new Xavier look like he never learned to keep his left up in the boxing ring? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to pick on the guy, but I'm just saying. I don't think this dude screams Charles Xavier whatsoever. But you know who's in charge of shit. So he's Charles Xavier. Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of him either. I don't know anything about him. I mean, maybe he can act, you know, I don't know. Sorry. Keys Collect says they have to at least thin out those eyebrows. Hey man, don't pick on people with big old eyebrows. This butt nut. Yeah, no idea. I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows who this actor is. Again, I'm not here to just crap all over this fucking DEI casting, which we know it is. I mean, it's just pointing it out, right? It's real easy to point that out. I'm just saying I don't know who he is. So, anybody? Bueller? Has anyone ever heard of this actor? Can somebody Google him? Maybe? Please? Oh, man. There's a bunch of playset comments. I got to go back. And star. I got to star these. Okay, we're good. Let me get to the bottom of the comments. So far with how the MCU portrays the X-Men and mutants, I understand the Sentinel program getting passed. Oh. Oh, speak of DEI. Holy shit, the craziest thing. I was on the fence thinking to send it. Send it, dude. Are you talking about like over Instagram or Facebook? Send that shit, boy. Ace's Place says, I'm surprised they didn't go for a bigger name for Charles. and surround him with younger cats, but we shall see. I could agree with that. Yeah, I could get behind that. Oh, this guy? That's Smug McGee. You guys don't know Smug McGee? No, I don't. Is that Pedro Pascal's son?
It's science, people! Science!
Yeah, this isn't the uncanny X-Men. It's the stunning and brave X-persons. Yeah, it's probably gonna be. Oh, did they not learn their lesson from the MCU? I guess they fucking didn't. I guess not, but yeah, I just wanted to discuss this for a second. Again, not picking on the guy or his acting chops. I don't even know his acting chops. Maybe he's a great actor, but casting Patrick Stewart as frickin' Charles Xavier was like the best, most obvious choice. It was like when everybody was screaming for Bryan Cranston to be cast as Lex Luthor. It's not Luthor, right? And that didn't happen. I always wanted to see Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor, but no. Bobby Vance says it's official. Marvel is going down the same path as the Batman Pattinson movies. Oh, with all these soft ass. Yeah. I don't like to use the term beta men. I think that gets thrown around too much, but Jesus, man. I know Xavier's not like a, stand up and box 20 people. Get it, stand up. But Jesus, man. Toy Odyssey says, pardon me, they'll do the same with Magneto. I know they're modernizing it, so he's not going to have his Holocaust origin. That I do know, but yeah. Too much hair, even if he was bald. Yeah. That's not Chuck. Oh, where did that go? Man, that chat just jumped. Sorry. Jeffy said that's not Chuck. Yeah. Who the fuck is even that? Hold up. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why it moved so much. You hear about the Forza Horizon 5 player who got the longest ban in gaming history? No, I mean we're not really talking about that right now. Yeah. Look, kids, it's the unfunny ass man. I don't know, man. Kevzilla. He screams Xavier Sing from the 7-Eleven to me. Oh, come on. I mean, one way or the other, I don't care about this guy's background at all whatsoever. But your eyebrows are fine, Chad. You're not playing Charles Xavier. People like to try to dog on me for my eyebrows, and I'm like, really? You like to stare into my eyes a lot. Yeah, Chad is grumpy. He didn't get the role. Negative. No, I grew my hair out, so it doesn't work. Marco, what's up, brother? Saw the bat signal reporting in yesterday's episode. Mandatory, an absolute must see. You'll thank me later. Worth downloading, and I'm figuring out how that's done. Yesterday's episode mandatory. What is that? What are you talking about? Please expand on that. Yesterday's episode mandatory and absolute must see. Yesterday's episode of what? I have a feeling the Calvalrine is why the rest are no ones. So you think that Cavill's going to be Wolverine? Is that what you're saying, Nico? Smug McGee is Tits McGee's third cousin from Iowa, actually. I heard that, yeah. I met Tits McGee, but I never met Smug McGee. I'm sure plenty of us have, at some point in our lives, met Tits McGee. Justin Booth, I have a feeling we're going to have another major flop like Supergirl. Yeah, I'm kind of reading those tea leaves myself, just looking at this dude. I don't know, kids. Yep. It's not really instilling the greatest feelings of casting choices. TJC, what's up, brother? It's good to see you. For anybody who cares, Jeffy and I, we will be playing live on stream Ghost Recon Wildlands with our good friend TJC here on Saturday. Guess we should all be glad that we finally got a real redhead to actually play the ginger. Are you talking about Jean Grey? Because Sophie Turner's a real redhead. I'm not trying to actually you, Mr. Hal Jordan, but yeah, Sophie Turner. Billy Zane was born to play Lex Luthor. I don't know who looks like Zordon. This guy or Billy Zane? I don't know if you're responding to Hal Jordan. So dude's been in a few movies, a lot of Broadway, but we all laughed at Ledger being cast as a Joker, and we all ate shit on that one. So wait and see, I say. Yeah, but they didn't cast Idris Elba as the Joker. If you know, you know, right? I think that's kind of the big sticking point with this guy as Xavier. You know, I mean, who's gonna play the Juggernaut? Fucking Danny Trejo. You know what I mean? It's just once you go down that rabbit hole, I mean, there you are. I don't know. Browncoat, what's up, dude? Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. I hope everyone is having a great day, and just seeing this picture and hearing that he's going to be Xavier shits on my excitement. How about them bringing in the XN? What are we talking about? Vegan X-Men. Yeah, Pattinson is Batman. I don't know. Can you hear my dog sneezing? Pattinson as Batman is a fucking joke. Why are we grumpy with this dude? I have no idea. Half the new actors are for the X-Mengs, so whatever. Don't we all hate MCU anyway? No, I kind of don't. I'm not emotionally attached to anything Marvel, so I can just go see it if I want to see it, and I'm not like, oh man, they fucked this story up. Oh, blah blah blah. I don't do that. I just see it if I want to see it. Cooking with air. Check this out. I used to cook for Patrick Stewart at the hotel. That's cool. The girl cast for Storm is apparently being deemed black enough. Oh, I'm sure that's by the left, right? I'm sure the left is saying she's not black enough. It's just like all the people who said that the British black actor who was cast as T'Challa's son as the new Black Panther isn't black enough because he's British. It's always the people who talk about the hate has no home here and coexist and blah, blah, blah. You know, they're always the first ones to see race and this and that. It's fucked up. Oh, God, here we go.
Well, actually, Chad, Charles has been able to walk around in the comics during various runs. Thank you. Very little.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you for schooling me, HGC. I appreciate it. Magneto will be cast as a Palestinian.
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Wait. Ain't nobody got time for that. I need that lady. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah. Easy skip for me on anything X-Men. Disney just doesn't know how to do comics good at all. I think the only observation, this isn't a complaint, it's just an observation. It felt like to me, they were always dumbing down the X-Men's powers for, you know, various reasons. Like they don't have enough powerful villains to go up against, so they would just fucking trounce all over them. Like the protagonists were never really that powerful. They always just relied on Magneto, you know, to like freeze Wolverine. Even when they did do the Sentinels, when you saw like the whole Danger Room thing in X-Men 3, which sucked, by the way, you know, they still didn't do Sentinels in the really real world. It was just, oh, they were a Danger Room scenario. And yeah, you never really got to see the X-Men unleash. And then when you kind of did, like with the Sophie Turner, quote unquote, Dark Phoenix thing, you were just like, meh, it's still kind of gay. I looked at his filmography. The only movie we might have seen was Raven the Hunter. Didn't even hear about it. Yep. I hope we're not getting the uncanny XXY men. Oh, he was in Craven, as you were. Craven the Hunter. Heard of that. Didn't fucking see it. If they cast Magneto as anything other than a Holocaust survivor, they can shove the whole mutant saga up their mouse hole. He's not going to be. No, that's not going to be his backstory. I already said it. There's already articles out about it. Mm-mm. They have to modernize it. He'd be way too old. That I'm okay-ish with that, right? I mean, when the comics were first written, it was easy to make him a Holocaust survivor. But that being said, so let's put it in perspective, trying to be right, measured and fair. I don't want to say to be fair because I don't like that. But if I apply this to an intellectual property that I love and I'm passionate about, if they did the whole Tommy Arashikage, Snake Eyes, Stalker, Lerp backstory now, if they did it now, they can't put it in Nom. They would have to put it in like some kind of GWAT, right? It would have to either be like, go fuck yourself a Stan, like a fake country like Joe does sometimes, or it'd have to be like Iraq, Afghanistan, Somalia, something like that, right? They would have to do it like that because you have actors maybe in their late 20s, 30s, I mean, even 40s, God forbid, they're not going to have fought in Vietnam. So that's just the way I try to measure that. But yeah, they're not going to do the Holocaust thing. Hey, remember when everyone lost their shit over the Fox X-Men wearing black leather and Hugh Jackman was too tall for Wolverine? Yeah, I do. This is one of the small race changes in movies that kind of pisses me off because it messes with the whole feel of the character. At least for me, just my opinion. I mean, maybe he's a great actor, but he looks so young. And if he's that young, Magneto's going to have to be like his equal, right? So if they're that young, I mean, what are we doing with the X-Men? I mean, we already saw the dude who's cast as Cyclops because they didn't really talk about the actor and his experience and his chops. They talked about the fact that he's bisexual because equity, not equality, right? It's not what's your acting chops. It's like, what's your ESG score qualifications to have this role? So, thank you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. He's been in Wolfman, Poor Thing, Craven the Hunter, First Man. Okay. If they're trying to be legit X-Men and would start from the beginning with the OG characters, Beast, Iceman, Cyclops, yeah, exactly. 100%. Cavill after all the Battle World bullshit. Jedi Ben, it's an all-new cast after Secret Wars with a few classic character holdovers with wiped memories. Yeah, I've heard about that. They're going to do a reset. That's Mini Driver? Is that just saying Mini Driver is Mr. Sinister? Yeah. Menjoza, I think they're going the Harry Potter route with casting unknowns, so I will reserve judgment, but I'm keeping an eye on them. Yeah, I am. I think the guy they got for Cyclops, like, sure, cool, right on. But if you do the age appropriation thing compared to this guy as Xavier, what would Cyclops be like 6? Yeah, I don't know. I look at it and I just go, Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, speaking of DC, says Browncoat, I really liked the first episode of Lanterns. I may be in the minority. I have not seen it. I don't know if I plan to, honestly. Bro, Chad, Elliot Page is the new Juggernaut. The meme completes itself. Why? Because Ellen Page was in X-Men 3? Is that where you're going with that? Is it? They should cast Tracy Morgan to revive his Professor X from the comedy superhero movie. If you know, you know. With this current hairdo and this guy playing Charles, they might as well bring in George Lopez as Magneto. Yeah. Yesterday's episode was not only a summary of the who's who of G.I. Joe collecting, valuable for all to save time and get up to speed, but we look at world and explain it. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. You better be kidding, dude. Yeah. Hey, I was born in Connecticut and I'm 100% Italian. I'm not going to change my mind. He looks too young and I don't know what his acting chops are. There you go. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know why they dog on the guy who's playing T'Challa's kid. Like that to me, it just blew me away that people were saying he's not black enough. That was crazy. Excited for a new Austin Powers movie. What? Are they doing a new Austin Powers? Yeah, man. Michael Caine killed it. He killed it in that role. And the Dutch. They need to leave Logan out of this and just use Daphne Keenan X-23 as the MCU Wolverine. I don't know if they would do that. Deadpool 1 and 2 were great because Ryan had all to say, which he loved. Well, him and the original director of the first one, yeah. And then they kind of parted ways. He loved the characters and made sure they looked and acted like they should. And any other comic movie has done it wrong. I like the fact that they CG'd the Juggernaut. I did. I wasn't the biggest fan of Cable, Josh Brolin as Cable, honestly. But again, I'm not emotionally invested in anything Marvel, so it didn't ruin my day. I just saw him as Cable, and I was like, I just see Josh Brolin. So, just me. Disney has been going downhill since they started recycling their greatest hits as live-action CGI slop. Why should they treat Marvel any better? Fair enough. Clint says his missing link Grimlock finally came in. Dude, that's cool. Can't wait to play with a Peak toy. There you go. Very awesome. I saw the new Takara Tomy drops on Hasbro Pulse, but yeah. 1940 to 1963, not a problem. 1940 to 2026. When X-Men first came out, it had been less than 20 years since the end of World War II. That is true. Odie, stop. Magneto will be a Red Dawn commie invasion survivor, calling it now. Magneto Reigns. Oh, my Lord. You guys are killing me. I'm very, very excited not to give a shit anymore about reboots. Yeah, reboots, right? Yeah. Keys collects. I'm no expert, but shouldn't Xavier and Magneto be older than everyone else? Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, if you make it age appropriate, I mean, how old are the X-Men? How long has the team even been around if this guy's like, I'm not being an ageist. 30? Mid-30s? Tops? Yeah, no way. I don't know, whatever. They should have just brought over Michael Fassbender and what's his fuck? James McAvoy? James McAvoy. Xavier preschool for the semi-gifted. Charles Xavier Leering Center. How about that? We'll go with that. Can we go with that? Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Again, yeah. I mean, even Jeffy's saying he's Italian, but whatever. That's not necessarily the point. Yeah, see? The only way Xavier can be a quote-unquote father figure to his X-Men is if they're ex-babies from Mojo World. Anyway, I mean, let's just whatever. Mike Myers confirmed that there is. Dude, that's awesome. He's been more active lately. Something is coming. I would love to see a new Austin Powers. I would love it. Nico says, yeah, it was way more fun back then. No normies, still tons of comics. Well, you know, and that's the thing. Like once you make an intellectual property, like any of those, you know, characters and, you know, those comics and the stories, once you make them that popular with the normies, no, that's when you get all the tourists and everybody comes in and they're like, oh, it needs to be like this. Yeah. Brolin was fine as Cable. Yeah, I mean, that's just a personal opinion, right? ASM 42, why? Shrek 2 and 3, The Love Guru, all bad Austin Powers leftovers. I do not disagree. I can't fucking stand Shrek, period. They don't like the new Black Panther because he is British, but are okay with Shuri's actress being half British. Yeah. And Chadwick Boseman doing an accent. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to pick a fucking struggle. And that's the problem with these people that are just like, you know, they're just like continually oppressed. They always find something to fucking bitch about. Oh, he's 40, says Matt. Wow, he does not look 40. Still, that puts, yeah, I don't know. I'd love a live action Goblin Queen in that underboob costume. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It would have been hilarious if they CG'd Josh Brolin's head onto a Rob Liefeld type of body. I would have passed out from laughing. Oh, yeah, man. Just ridiculous proportions, no feet, pouches on pouches. It's not that I hate the movie X-Men. I just hate Disney. That's fine. Do you hate watch it, though? Going back to yesterday? So at 40, they could have Magneto be from Bosnia. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Rogue casting is also god awful. Haven't seen it. Mother Slug screaming at me. I love Josh Brolin as Cable. Fuck yeah. Hey, that's fine, man. That's cool. Totally cool. Yeah, Crystal Clear says I could have sworn he was in his late 20s. Hey, I mean, you know, dude doesn't have a lot of city miles on him. That's fine. But he just doesn't scream Charles Xavier. Just my opinion. Here's the thing. Am I gonna even watch it? I don't know. I'm one of those people, like, you got to sell me with trailers. I don't care about other people's opinions. I need trailers. And if they start putting out trailers that just fucking slap, yeah, I'll probably see it. But I'm just saying, I don't always try to judge things by first impressions anymore. I don't feel this guy as Charles Xavier. I could be wrong. Could totally be wrong. I didn't like the Tumblr when I first saw it, not even a little. And then I saw it in the trailers and in the film, and I was like, pardon me. I was like, you know what? That's freaking awesome. The new Rogue is the main chick from Obsession. Can't she like really fucking act though? I don't know. He looks more like the Xavier Academy school counselor instead of the founder. Yeah, I don't know. Tyler, Chad, have you played any of the GTA games? Does anybody want to answer Tyler for me? Somebody answer Tyler for me. Just kidding. No, the answer is no. Never played a GTA game. No interest. Marco says the chick from Obsession, I got nothing. That's not good. Rogue should be bigger or bolder in her presence. Yeah, but if she can act, yeah. Chad has not. He can't spell GTA. Yeah, and see that. I mean, that's what I thought. Everybody says Obsession is like fantastic. Oh, it's so great and blah blah blah. I still haven't seen it. It's on my ever growing list. Yeah, you can't fucking spell, right? You're trying to dog me out for not being able to spell GTA. You can't spell cannot. Come at me, bro. Yeah. Maybe she can act, but she lacks the personalities. Again, I don't know. I'm gonna wait for trailers. But hey, speaking of X-Men, here's something I want to talk about. Let's see who gets mad. John Byrne told the New York Times this week that the X-Men were not originally Alphabet Mafia or civil rights allegory, and pushed back on the Stan Lee revisionism directly. Did anybody check this out? Has anybody seen this? Oh. I can spell. This says Adidas. Yeah, no, look, I'll give you that. Her being able to act doesn't mean she can play Rogue. I don't disagree with that sentiment. Again, I'm going to wait for trailers. Bro, new Rogue is a Latina, I think, not a Southern belle. That's a huge part of her character. That's like saying fucking Remy LeBeau is not Remy LeBeau. You know what I mean? He's not like Louisiana Cajun. I don't know. Yeah. People claim he did. He did not. He's right. Stan Lee later adopted that stance, sort of. Exactly. I've got a decades-long beef with that old fuck nugget. Dude, you're in a fucking mood today, man. You are in a mood with John Byrne or Stan Lee. Yeah. So this is what he says. People say that Stan said the X-Men were his metaphor for racism, that Xavier was Martin Luther King and Magneto was Malcolm X. And I go, no, actually, go look at the earliest issues. Xavier's FDR, Magneto was Hitler. He's even using, those trappings. But people persuaded Stan that he was doing something else, and Stan said, sure, why not? And then somebody in the comments said, Stan Lee said something along the lines of, I never saw it that way or wrote it that way, but if it helps people relate to it, then that's good. And then this person comes in and says, translation, if it brings me money, sure. Yeah, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah. Everybody wants to say, oh, it's about this and it's about that. I can spell these nuts. Justin Booth, John Byrne is based as fuck. Well, I mean, if he's right, he's right. A lot of people back that up, that no, Stan Lee did not envision the X-Men as this, that, or the other thing. It's just that revisionist history, right? It's the same idiots who say, oh, you need to go read a Punisher comic book because I fucking make dolly activism of Frank Castle deleting all these police officers because Frank Castle would totally do that. Go read a comic book. And I'm like, okay. That's not even worth a fucking response. No. Hal Jordan says the fact that people are busting nuts, bust a nut bar all over this Obsession movie just means it's not that great to me. Look at all the praise Jordan Peele movies get, and they're all garbage. I watched a couple, and I was just like, the one of the two people out at the ranch, was it Look Up or Don't Look Up or whatever with the fucking aliens? I was like, bro, this movie sucks. Mother Slug Rogue was one of the worst X-Men characters ever brought to film, never having all her powers. She never uses them. The first 3 movies of the early 2000s, she never used her powers. Why was she even in it? She was the MacGuffin device. I mean, that's the easiest answer. She was the MacGuffin device of the first movie, right? They needed her, blah, 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 to power the machine and yakety yak yak. But that's what I was saying earlier. They always dumb down the X-Men's powers. They always dumb them down. And instead of giving like 4 of them their full powers, they get like, 20 or 15 on screen. And then they're like, oh, blink and you miss it. There was Jubilee. Like, no, man. Tyler says probably because it's Monday. Nah, man. I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that. Right? Office Space. Lee said he made the mutants because he got tired of making up origins for superpowers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was Jack Kirby's opinion? I don't know. I'm just reading what I saw. No one remembers Jack Kirby. I do. But early X-Men comics are rough and very hard to get through, says Impossible Pie. So I guess they're going that route with Rogue. Whatever. You just got to fucking DEI the whole thing up. Headcanon says, I think it was Chris Claremont that steered into the racism allegory during his run. Was Anna Paquin Southern because she was horrible? You know, the funny thing is, Anna Paquin, she came across way more Southern Belle in True Blood. Plus boobs, right? So I don't know. Yeah. Chris, what's up? While the actress for Rogue carried the Obsession movie, in my opinion, it's the wrong casting for that character. Don't like it at all. Same for Professor X. Yeah. Ninja Fran says, like Stan had an ironclad contract about Spidey, Peter Parker always needs to be white and straight contractually. That's where Miles Morales came in and was originally pushed as a bisexual, half black, half Puerto Rican. Yeah. That's why everybody had a problem with Skydro Walker's picture without even asking him what the fucking story of the picture was. Right? Right. Yeah. Because you can't do that. You can only do that to white people because we can't be racist against white people. You know, if you know, you know. Robert's Infinite Realms. Yeah. Claremont was the guy who turned X-Men into a racism allegory, but he knew how to do it in a cool way. Yeah, it wasn't a beat you over the head with it thing. Medieval Alchemist, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So they are doing another Captain Marvel movie for the sole purpose of Rogue taking her powers? Probably not. Probably not. We're kind of talking about just X-Men stuff in general, just for a minute. About to move off of it, but yeah. Matt says Emil Hirsch would work as Wolverine. He's short, can get into great shape. His beard grows like Logan's. I agree. And that dude can fucking act. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, HCC says, well, Chris Claremont had the most time writing X-Men stories. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was just bringing it up for the conversation, you know, that he was saying, no, that was never the intended origin or idea, that it just evolved. There's nothing wrong with things evolving. Justin Booth, Frank's main targets were criminals. No shit. The only law enforcement, federal agents, military soldiers, officers he'd Minecraft were corrupt. Yeah, exactly. Toy activists are full of shit. Of course they are. They always are. Yeah. All they do is push the message, the one message, and it has to be the message. They don't ever talk about other stuff, other horrible things, you know, things that are being, you know, enacted upon countries, citizens that just want to live their lives in peace. They don't ever want to talk about that with their little fucking dolly photos. No, they're full of shit. Mexican Rogue. Here's a taco, sugar. It wouldn't even sound like that, but yeah. X-Men really is an allegory for racism, like the way Marvel Comics has mutants treated by society, in a very, very, very on the nose and obvious this theme is in those books. No, it was never intended to be that. It became that later. That's the point of the conversation. Headcanon says True Blood is why I refer to HBO as, hey, boobies on TV. Game of Thrones has True Blood beat hands down. Hands down. Oh, Matt, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Hello there. Good to see you. HCC says Stan on X-Men was basically, will this stick? Don't know. Here, Roy Thomas, figure it out. Yeah. Oh, they are doing another Captain Marvel? Get ready for that to fucking bomb. They love throwing away money. That's why they fleece people at the parks, right? The fucking parks is the only shit keeping Disney going. All their stuff is just bombing. Yeah, I heard they were doing another Captain Marvel movie, and that's how they would bring in Rogue. Okay. Yeah, I have no interest in all this stuff. Pepperidge Farms remembers when the original X-Men comics brought kids together. It was fun. Now all this new bullshit just divides and enrages. It's time to walk away. It's time to fucking make our hobbies great again is what it's time to do. Maybe when they're all done losing money. Yeah, cooking with Eric. That's something that I obviously I talk about a lot is the whole pendulum effect. I don't know. The whole woke shit started going away, and then you get people like AOC and others, and I don't know, maybe they all get on a conference call with their their weird Hollywood people because they're all in the same bubbles, right? Hollywood spreads the message that certain political I don't want to say parties, but persons really want them to push, et cetera, and then they get the access media, and then they have all the pillars covered. But yeah, they're really pushing this fucking woke 2.0 shit. I don't know, man. We'll see. Matt Tracker, channel member for 28 months since day one, uses his Chat trademark, this space 2024, and says, "Oh shit." Let's see. What do I got for you? I got this for you, Matt. Yeah. HBO shows are prestige boobs. Straight up. Nothing wrong with that. No, I agree, Browncoat. I absolutely agree. X-Men were outsiders, which gave them wide appeal. Hijacked for everything now. Correct. Sergeant Curmudgeon. Correct. Yeah, fucking hijack it all, right? The funny thing is, speaking of hijacking, they hijacked Iceman and made him what? Some alphabet mafia, one way or the other. I don't know what they made him identify as, which whatever. And his name is Bobby. Bobby Valla worked on the Marvel X-Men run, and he put his head on an Iceman figure. And I'm like, so basically, you're a little fruity. I always give him shit. Justin Booth, if these fake liberals, woke fucktards had their way, they'd race swap every character. Yep. Only in one direction, though. I would only change liberals to leftists. There's a difference. There is a huge difference. That's like saying every conservative is like the worst of the worst far right. It's not true. And again, most of the country is very centrist, all about that life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, Yeah, but it just gets pushed, right? And the more you push on one direction, again, pendulum effect, right? The more you're going to have the equal and opposite reaction. Keys Collect says it's becoming oppressive ecosystems, or opposing, as you were. One wouldn't have to push the other out. One would. Well, yeah, that's why I said keeping all that stuff, right? All that polarizing ideologies, pushing messages, agendas, keeping that stuff out of our hobbies ensures that you don't have that. Sorry, my dog's whining. You don't have that Newton effect where it brings in a whole other, avenue of extreme approaches. And then it's just totally fucked. You just break it. 100% broken. Clint says, As a Disney park fan, the only side of the company I give a shit about, D23, was actually pretty good. All very vague on anything in terms of news for Villains Land. Well, I don't like the fact that they took out the river to, fucking pave it over in Florida. Hey, speaking of Loch Ness monsters, one asked me for Tree Fitty. I told him shut the hole in his face. Oh, I see what you did there. I ain't giving no Matsuno.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that.
That's for you. Yeah. Is it too much to ask for Hal Jordan Green Lantern live action that is good and about him and not making him Parallax? The answer is yes. Man, that Hal Jordan looks rode hard and put away wet in that fucking Lantern show. He looks like dog shit. Yeah. Medieval Alchemist is talking about Shi'ar Empire. X-Men. Dude, I remember HBO having spicy flicks late at night. Got to see Pam Anderson before the sex tape. Oh, baby. Jean Grey made Bobby gay. I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. If we're going to race swap everyone, I want Justin Booth as Nelson Mandela. That's like all those memes going around about Leonardo DiCaprio being Obama. Yeah. They hijacked everything, says Den of Geek, and made our niche stuff so mainstream. It's good to see you, dude. They did. Yep. You mean Iceman is an X-Man? No. No, he's not. He's not doing the pretend thing. He's not doing that. Hal Jordan says, up here in Canada, liberals and leftists are one and the same. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You're welcome, Kenzo. You're welcome, Kevzilla. You guys are welcome. They massacred my boy, Hal Jordan. Fuck yeah, they did. Bear 11 Charlie, my favorite mortar man. Part of the Blue Cord Brotherhood. It's good to see you, buddy. Keys collects. DC is about to completely change. People doubt the Paramount deal will happen, but they know a guy. Yeah, they do know a guy. I'm waiting for Skydance Paramount to do good shit. I'm waiting for them to. Okay, cautiously optimistic. I want to see G.I. Joe come back. I want to see it be given the respect that it deserves. I want to see it kind of treated like the Mission Impossible movies, with like some legs. That's what I'd like to see. So, yeah. Chris says it feels like they're trying to make the Green Lantern show a procedural crime drama. Not a fan after watching the first episode. And see, that's the thing that I think that we all need to embrace is the different opinions we're allowed to have them. Because somebody else said, hey, I loved it. And I'm like, all right, cool. You didn't like it. Somebody else fucking loved it. I'm probably not going to watch it. There you go. Right. And that's what makes the world go round. I appreciate me too. As long as you drop your fucking snarky attitude today. I love you very much. You're on a tear today. ASM says, I need that heavy armor toy Sergeant Savage. Oh, he needs to fucking make those. He needs to make those. We need to do a mandatory fun episode all about like independent, just all about independent toys. Bobby Vance, Matt LaCroix, Heavy Armor, Craft and Conquer, Ramen Toy, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then you guys can all share your thoughts and opinions of other lines, etc. They should let Mel Gibson do a G.I. Joe movie. It better than letting Lorenzo Di Bonaventura and Larry Hama near it. I don't fucking know. Yeah. DC is on its way out. Come 2030, Superman and Batman become public domain. Then watch what happens when anyone can make them as anything they want and sell it. But not every aspect of all those characters and whatnot becomes public domain, right? I don't know. HGC says, I'm normal. I just have very strong opinions on X-Men and the creators around it. X-Men to me is like you and G.I. Joe. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it like next week or something. Bro, what the shit with that? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Just go sit in a corner. Anyway, we're going to move away from this. But again, right, there he is. I don't know. Dude doesn't look 40. And then, hey, speaking of all this live action bullshit, live action Call of Duty movie is officially set in the Modern Warfare universe in theaters June 30th, 2028. Stand by if it actually happens, to be determined. Kenzo says, no, and then. And then? What do you mean, what's today's topic? It's on the fucking thumbnail, dummy. I'm sorry.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
Play sets, baby. Favorite play sets. Nerd alert. What's up? Good to see you. Black Lantern is the final boss. Yeah, I don't know. And then? So, yeah, apparently there's going to be a Call of Duty movie. This is the quote-unquote release date. And then I like this comment right here. Either it has teenagers shouting slurs all over the combat scenes, or it's not historically accurate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually have that McFarlane figure. McFarlane figure. I agree with heavy spoilers. Yeah, me too. It's got to be that Modern Warfare 2 lobby. It fucking better be. Can we just do live action Call of Duty in Iran? Why do we need a movie? That's insensitive. But fair. That's a fair one. Anybody who's talking about play sets, I'm starring it, right? We're getting there. Mother Slug said, I've seen a Call of Duty movie already. It's every other war movie. Dumb idea to make a film on it. I mean, they're just going to make some, I don't know. You know, if it has Soap and Price and Ghost, I might be down with that. Just don't make some generic, like, pew, pew, pew movie kind of thing. Yeah. Call of Duty is Paramount. Really? Okay. Right. We were just talking about Skydance Paramount. Odie, stop. Sorry. But I just thought that was funny. I just wanted to share it. Barrel Evans says, sorry, I didn't look. I just hit play. Well, I love you. It's just for the laughs, right? Here you go. That's what I'm saying. Chaosmatic says, Call of Duty is ran by safe space commies. 100%. I doubt that this is going to be good. It's probably going to have Deborah What's-Her-Fuck, the bald-headed black lady girl boss. Probably going to have her in it. Elliot Page. Zendaya. Fuck no. I mean, that's fine because you give me stuff to talk about endlessly, but I don't want to see them fucking hurt Call of Duty by making a Call of Duty movie. Hey there. Give me 1 second, kids. I will BRB. Oh, turn that off. I'm back. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Clint says, honestly, should always be honest. Honesty is the best policy, right? Be real. I want the next Joe movie to be more silly, fun, and goofy Sunbow-like movie and science fiction, and not a boring-ass military. And I don't disagree with that. That's the thing with Joe, daring, highly trained special mission force. I think that a lot of people who make those movies don't really understand that. Like Rise of Cobra was very much like Duke's like, oh yeah, General Abernathy, Hawk, yeah, I remember you in Afghanistan and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, okay, just yeah. There's a lot of people that they don't know how to handle those. I have faith with Danny McBride, especially since, again, until I'm shown otherwise, pardon me, he wanted to do a Dreadnought movie. That's what he pitched. So obviously he can get down with, the grape soda and the chocolate donuts and all the goofy, dangerous but fun and funny at the same time. So if that's what he wanted to lean into and he's going the Springfield route, I mean, you can do serious and, a mixture of other things, future forward. We'll just see, right? Headcanon, isn't Call of Duty just a mishmash of various war movies? So now we're doing a war movie about a game that is cobbled together from war movies? Yeah. Call of Duty is a mishmash of various real world wars, right? With, some original characters thrown in there and stuff, I mean, but they could do Task Force 141. I would think that they could. Crystal clear. It better have no Russian in it. Oh man, wouldn't that be fucking awesome? What if it started with no Russian? Make it rated R and start the movie. It's just like cold opens before the credits, black elevator doors open, and you hear, remember, no Russian. And then they just start. Oh man, you want to talk about like kick people in the face? Yeah. You could do it. But the thing is, like Chaosmatic said, it's a bunch of soft ass fucking sissies running that shit. Yeah. Black Lantern isn't lantern enough. Yeah.
Your Black Lantern's not a Black Lantern enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Call of Duty movie better have microtransactions for new skins. Instead of a popcorn bucket, you just get like a fucking little scratch card for skins. Yeah. ASM, are you saying that Joe is also ran by a bunch of soft ass sissies? Is that what you're saying? I don't disagree. Not only ran by, but the fan base has been overran with a lot of fucking simps. Yeah.
People who don't like the rampant militarism propaganda.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'd rather have Gem.
Well, then go collect Gem. Hey, there's a lot of great war or military movies. I need to see Patton. Oh, Patton's good. Patton is good. Had to say hi to the man. I thought that was Godzilla. Did you? You thought that was Godzilla, huh? Mother Slug says, Soap and Price, hell no, they'll add Tiffany and Molly as the main characters. Oh, man. So they're going to go the fucking BJ Blazkowicz kids. I don't even know if I said that correctly. That's very hard to pluralize. His fucking goofy woke daughters. Yeah, from Wolfenstein. Nope. HGC says, I too identify as a bald-headed black lady girl boss. Like this person?
Girl power!
Is that you? Yeah, is that you? Probably. HGC, I don't even remember the last time I played Call of Duty. I do. And it was a fucking hot minute ago. Hot minute ago. Justin Boof. I've given up on the hope Konami will sign off on a Metal Gear Solid live action movie. Hell, I'd settle for a CGI film. I would too. I would. Mm-hmm. As we discussed before, Call of Duty, the movie. Yeah. HGC, is Call of Duty still a thing today? Or did everyone just go to Fortnite? No, they turned Call of Duty into Fortnite. That's what they did. Yeah. That's how you get gem. You don't want gem. No, dude, I'm right there with you. Trust me. 100%. I will say this. This isn't necessarily in line with the whole gem thing, but kind of a little bit. StreamYard made me some reels, some clips from yesterday's stream, and they are pretty fucking banging. So I'll be throwing some of them up on the old Instagram. Murder. Murder. I'm so sorry. No, sorry. I got people going in and out. Fucking dogs are losing their shit. Gerard O'Connor says, excited for Joe, apprehensive about Call of Duty. I'm going to say cautiously optimistic for both. Again, trailers sell me. Trailers. Not court of public opinion, not influencers, not fucking shills and glazers. Trailers. That's what I need. I need fucking trailers. Call of Duty 1 literally had the shower scene from The Rock. Yeah. I don't know if that was Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty, but I do remember yeah. If it started with no Russian, that would be a balls to the wall. Wow. I'm just saying. This is why they don't want fans of things to be anywhere near these things. It's the same approach as when, Star Wars collectors and, Masters of the Universe fans and Transformer lovers weren't allowed to work Boys Toys or the action figures when they worked at like Toys R Us. They would put you in bikes or puzzles and games. They don't want you near the stuff. I don't know why. It's weird. It's completely antithetical to everything that should be, but that's just how they fucking are. And that's corporation mindset 101, top down, every single one of them. Doesn't matter if it's Toys R Us, doesn't matter if it's fucking Marvel. How many times did any of you see clips from writing staffs? They have staffs on the MCU where they were told, don't read the source material. Don't read the comics. How many times did you hear Kathleen Kennedy go, we don't have source material. This is very difficult for us to do, to come up with stories because we don't have books or comics. What? They're fucking idiots. They're all idiots. And then this is why, like some of you have been saying, like they just seep into this stuff and they're like, well, it's problematic. We're going to have to fucking deconstruct it. No, man. You start a Call of Duty movie with no Russian. You fucking cold open that bitch. Maybe show a couple of, the credits across the bottom. Do it just like a Mission Impossible movie. People get hyped up for a Mission Impossible movie because it cold opens with Simon Pegg, fucking being the breaker guy or dial tone, whatever your poison is. And, then here comes Tom Cruise and he does some crazy Tom Cruise shit. And then you get the Mission Impossible intro. That's how you do fucking Call of Duty movie. How you fucking do it. But just like that meme of all the people sitting around in the boardroom and everybody says dumb shit and the only person who has a good idea gets chucked out the window, right? Modern SAS or soft ass simps. I do not agree with that. I do not agree with that. Yeah. Maybe they're police. Yeah. Nerd Alert wants a very R-rated G.I. Joe flick, but a comedic version would work with Cobra Commander especially. I don't want a comedic Cobra Commander. Not even a little. I want Cobra Commander from Resolute. I want Cobra Commander from the Energon comics. Calculating, vicious, intelligent, highly intelligent. You know, the dude's playing 4D chess. The guy from the very first, we'll just say like 10, 15 issue run of the G.I. Joe Marvel comics back in the 80s. That guy. The guy who had this doctor kidnapped and did all this dumb shit just so he could get the Joe team in one spot and see them. That's the guy that I want. He's always steps ahead of everybody else. I don't want the Chris Latta back. I don't. You can do homages to Chris Latta, you know, with the lisp, but I don't want that. Crystal clear. My favorite war movies are The Longest Day and We Were Soldiers. We Were Soldiers is a powerful movie. Barry Pepper is fucking awesome in that movie. And Sam Elliott. What are you, the fucking weatherman? That is a sergeant major right there. Yep. Alan Ritchson's War Machine is kind of a G.I. Joe Call of Duty movie. I agree. Alan Ritchson's War Machine is pretty much Energon Duke. Instead of Starscream, it's some other fucking thing. But yeah. Hal Jordan says, I saw SOCOM for the PSP yesterday in a hawk shop for $10. I was pissed. I don't still have my PSP. Yeah. I mean, if you have another system, you could get it on that. Murder Dog is prepared. MDK. Yeah, 100%. G.I. Joe 66 says, it's Chad made my whole decade. I have wanted V, the final battle spaceships and figures since I was young. Yeah, and you know the funny thing about those toys, the visitor toys from the V miniseries, those were Joe's. They were Kit Bash G.I. Joes. It's funny how that comes around full circle, right? Mego Chips figures became the Kit Bashes for the Real American Hero line review to get it off the ground, and then G.I. Joe figures became the Kit Bashes for V figures. Yeah. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear it. It's not my news. I just shared it. So, Squirrel. Any conversations about play sets? I'm just starring them. Gerard O'Connor says, dogs are awesome. Hell yeah. Yes. But when Odie gets on a tear, she'll just keep going. Chad should have ramen toys on. Yeah, I'll have Ace on for sure. We've talked about it numerous times. We're waiting on something. Stand by. Yep. Again, any playset kind of stuff. I'm Furtress or Ferns. Yeah. LJN, DND. I still have my sealed carded War Duke. Yeah, that's the only figure from that line I have because War Duke is fucking awesome, and it was carded. So, yep. I'm just okay. So we're all talking. Bear 11 Charlie says, I always liked Medal of Honor more than Call of Duty. 100% agreed. Absolutely. CC Murphy, what's up? Good to see you. Right about now, I'm missing Brandon R. Medal of Honor was dope. Agreed. You can still play them. We Were Soldiers is why I said let Mel Gibson do G.I. Joe. Sam Elliott should 1,000,000% be in the new Joe movie. Okay. You know what? Yeah. All right. Give it that. Longest Day and Bridge Too Far are my favorite World War II films. You guys remember Bridge on the River Kwai? It's a good movie. Bobby Vance, Chris Latta, Cobra Commander, and Christian Slater / Jack Nicholson Shipwreck is a must for any new Joe movie. There I said it, Chad. This I command. We'll see. Look, if I get a super fucking awesome G.I. Joe movie, I mean like the best thing that I could hope to happen, and it happens to have a Chris Latta inspired Cobra Commander, I will not cry in my fucking Cheerios. Gerard O'Connor says, I think when Odie annoys you, she's to be boxed up and shipped to Japan, as per Garfield. Oh, no. No. Gonzo, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. He kind of old. Are we talking about Sam Elliott? He's so awesome. You guys remember him in Roadhouse? What's up, mijo? He was so good in that movie. Playsets. Making of A Bridge Too Far is as good as the actual movie. Oh, I love making of documentaries. Now I got to go find that. Great Escape is a great World War II movie. Clint Eastwood, right? Is that Clint Eastwood? Or am I thinking about his Alcatraz movie? I don't know. Sometimes I have moments. Anyway, let's move on from the Call of Duty. Oh, man. Call of Duty movie better have teenagers shouting slurs, which I just thought was funny. Roadhouse. And then, okay. Oh, Steve McQueen. That's right. As you were. Thank you. Do you guys remember all the shit that went down in Spain? Well, they had another massive border surge. Look at this fucking shit show. Look at all those people. Look at that. They're fucked. Yeah, they're so fucked. Carlos, I starred your question, buddy. I'll get around to it. Yeah, this is fucking insane. And the crazy thing is the mainstream media is silencing all these people who are being interviewed, like people who live in that region of Spain, just like pleading and begging, saying like, we can't leave our homes. You know, they try to break in. We don't have any food. We have nothing. Like they're just completely over fucking ran. Got to go the Polish way, says ASM. Yeah, man. 100% Polish. The funny thing is, and I say it all the time, when we were all kids, those of us like, you know, Gen Xers, I mean, Polak jokes were the way to go, but Poland, they're the only ones that get it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They are all military age males. All of them. And it is coordinated and intentional. Yeah, it's a fucking invasion. It's crazy. People want this to happen in the United States. That's not fear-mongering. I mean, they say it openly. They say the quiet parts out loud. They want this. Of all the millions and millions that poured through our fucking open, porous borders, you know, when fucking Sleepy Joe was around, they want this shit. Everybody wants to bitch about the high cost of rent, the high cost of this, the high cost of that in the United States. You know why? Because tens and tens of millions of people that our infrastructure can't support, that don't belong in our country, just poured the fuck in. And that has nothing to do with race or ethnicity or country of origin or any of that stuff. It's just sheer, simple facts. Look at this shit. And this was a video. I just took a screenshot of the video. When you watch this mass of fucking bodies moving, it's even more absurd to look at. It's out of fucking control. Yeah. Hey, are those immigrants or Moroccan soldiers waiting to take the enclave back from Spain? Puts on tinfoil hat. I don't know how much of a tinfoil hat that actually is. No, it's not mainland Spain, but they are moving. They are moving. They're moving into Europe. Yeah. Yeah, the beaches are fucking destroyed. There's just trash floating everywhere. And the mainstream media is trying to keep any kind of news out of there just dark. They do not want to talk about it. They don't want to go anywhere near it because, again, right, they're part of the agenda. This shit's fucking crazy. Yeah, I can't pronounce the name of that beach town correctly, Cuerta, but they're fucked. They're totally fucked. This shit's nuts. Yeah, it is World War Z, right? The crazy thing is, speaking of World War Z, one of the last ticks that I ever really got at Troops in Contact. So one of the last little bits of scunion that I ever got in, about 20 military-age males breached the perimeter of our OP, the outer and the inner, right? Because there's generally a road in between, that you check the perimeter. And they breached it, and they came inside the wire, and they were all just like milling about like this. Some of them had weapons. One of them had a fucking axe. And they're just kind of like moping about until they saw our gun trucks coming at them from two separate directions, like we were trying to cut them off and flank them. And then as soon as they see our trucks, it's fucking durka durka, and then they just start freaking out, and then everything just goes to hell. And it didn't end up well for them, but yeah, that's the World War Z effect, right? Mm-hmm. Just like the Joker says in The Dark Knight. Yeah, it is all part of the plan. It's part of the plan. He can't make that decision. He's just a grunt. No offense. None taken. Pharaoh, do you copy? Mm-hmm. That's what we need to do. 100%. Yeah. The Dylan Arrow is a beautiful piece of machinery. If you know, you know. Yeah. Dylan Arrow is awesome. That's when you adopt Poland's new way of dealing with this shit. 100%. Yeah. They are not there to assimilate. They're not there for a better way of life. They are there to fucking destroy. I've heard a lot of people say that the noses are behind it. A lot of people say that about Charlie Kirk too, but you know what I mean? That shit's so high level. All I know is that, like, as a guy who thinks and lives and breathes like a soldier, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. It's called an OODA loop, right? Observe, orient, decide, act. That's what an OODA loop is. You observe this thing, you orient yourself to it. You make a decision, you act. OODA loop. And then you just go over and over and over and over and over and over. No. HGC says, my thought is Morocco is trying to pull a Russia Crimea 2012. Wouldn't doubt it. I'm 100% with you on that. Yeah. Just to watch these Spanish citizens like crying and pleading and begging for help, and everybody's like, nah. What? We don't see anything. It's fucking crazy. But again, like the Spanish government, they're being a problem toward their own people. It's crazy when you think that all of this bullshit is more important than your citizens. Yeah, they did try it in the US. Mm-hmm. They tried. That shit is locked the fuck down. I live in the Southwest US. I can tell you, like, we are locked the fuck down. There's nothing coming in. Yep. Carlos says, Poland and Italy are very proud of their cultures and not ashamed of it. Italy got pretty fucked up. Their new prime minister is fixing it, but they got pretty fucked up. They're trying to weed all those people out that got in there. Maybe they can hurry up because the ma'am and I want to retire to Italy. Yep. This feels like it's worded backwards. I'm just going to leave it on the screen. Yeah, I think that's worded backwards. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains full of invading mains of military age Mings. Fucked. They're fucked. Yep. Cooking with Eric, I starred your comment about play sets. Look at Dearborn, Michigan. It's already overran. Yep, that's true. There are a lot of pockets of Michigan, Minnesota, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. Yep. The distance across the water is like 2 miles or something. Yeah. There you go, right there. And Gerard would know. People like Gerard, TJC, when they talk, you guys should listen. Most of us who are, Americans or Canadians or whatever. Yeah. I mean, we can see it. We can see it for what it is, but they're the ones that got to fucking deal with it. Spain to France, France to the UK, and on they go. Yep. Absolutely. Spread the fuck out, just like World War Z, like Chaosmatic said. Uh-huh. They'll go as far as Russia if they try. I don't know if Russia would play that. Yeah. They what inside the wire? They breached it. They breached our perimeter. HGC says all the shit being built in my area is rent only with a few for purchase only. Yeah, well, again, part of the plan, right? Mother Slug says a J dam at that spot would change everything. When they see thousands of bodies falling everywhere, everyone else would turn and run. Look, that is the basic principle of FAFO right there. I told the story. I gave the example about the Spirit Halloween store here last year, where the security guard deleted that robber and then nobody tried to rob them again. Yes, it was excessive force. Yes, what he did was illegal. But the point is, nobody else went in there and tried to rob the place. If every time a politician was found, taking bribes and doing this and, stealing money from this fund and all that stuff, and all the people involved with USAID, if they were all swinging, they would stop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Gerard. You absolutely are 100%. Yeah, see, I don't know about all that. I don't know how much of that is conspiracy theory and stuff. I don't, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. In the phone, too. 100%. Key says it's always the globalists in the background, including, globalists, right? Replay of October 7th. Did you see a second wall is being built in the U.S.? Is that what you're talking about? Gerard O'Connor says, here in Ireland, the government are housing and financially supporting invaders. I paraphrase that. While ignoring our own people. Yep. Yeah, 100%. Giving them cars and all sorts of shit. It's crazy. Yeah. It's not just Dearborn. That's the biggest population. No, you're absolutely correct. It's not just Dearborn. 100%. Hal Jordan says, as a Canadian, we are almost to where the UK is. That is true. You are. You're close. You know what that started with? They took your guns. They took your guns. Russia will just press gang these folks. Press gang. Make them attack Ukraine. Oh, you mean force them into service? Yeah, I mean, they would. Sure. Yeah, all that squiggle shit is completely antithetical, to our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, the Federalist Papers, everything about being a constitutional republic. Yep. Look, I don't disagree with this. I do not. I understand proportionality, but I also understand the whole sending a message thing. Yeah. Clint says, hot take. As an autistic loser, well, first of all, I don't like that. Who doesn't understand politics whatsoever. I have no problem with immigrants. It's fine if they want to come into the country. If they don't want anything bad, I'm fine. Well, statistics say otherwise. Mm-hmm. Bobby Vance says Michigan has a huge problem with leftist college educated. Oh, you mean indoctrinated? Yeah. Whites voting against their own interests. Yeah, that's called suicidal empathy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Bigum, what's up, freaking nerd? Good to see you, nerd. Yeah. Border of Mexico is getting a second wall. They also have the Mexican military doing a lot of operations on their side. Yep. The last time I went to El Paso, it's almost unrecognizable from what it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, but yeah, it's way different. So far this month alone, I'm just going to leave this up on the screen. You guys can read it. Here's the thing about that. And then this is why I always call out those fucking toy hacktivist motherfuckers. They will never, never say anything about this. It's always about, oh, well, we need to punch up. Maybe you need to punch up at tens of thousands of military-age male invaders that are inflicting these kind of horrors on people. Maybe, fucking maybe. But nope, they won't do that. They won't do that. You know why? Because they have to go against anything that's American. That's what it is. That's the message that they have to promote. They have to go against our Constitution, our republic, our way of life. They don't like it. Yeah. So they make heroes do horrible things because we're trying to normalize that stuff. Oh, yeah, Captain America would totally frickin' Minecraft all these cops, and so would the Punisher, and so would blah, blah, blah. Right. But they'll never say shit about this. All these citizens fucking just trying to get by in fear for their lives. Nope. Quiet as church mice. CC Murphy says, it amazes me how few people in our country don't understand the difference between a constitutional republic and a democracy. Yeah, exactly. Totally agreed. The word democracy doesn't exist anywhere in any of our founding documents. Nowhere. They just want to call us a democracy because they want us to become a democracy. That's what it is. It's about the motivations behind it. Just like we talked about yesterday about hate watching. Hate watching is all about the motivation. Right? It's the why of it. Yeah. All these fucking turds that get elected and they take the oath of office and then they turn around and call us a democracy. I think immediately they should just be kicked out of office. Like, this revisionist U.S. history it's for the fucking birds, man. It's garbage. But again, I mean, the commies have been saying forever that they were gonna destroy us from within. That's what they're doing. We all know that. Boom! Hal Jordan, well-placed nuke in squiggle countries would also solve the problem. Crusade 2028. I don't disagree with that either. The challenge with that is, right, we got so aimed at Afghanistan after 9/11, which, you know, I mean, yeah, that dude, he was in Afghanistan. He was. I mean, there were plenty of confirmed reports that he crossed into Pakistan while we were in there. But yeah, I mean, if no one remembers, George Bush, he did go on national TV and said, if you don't cease hostilities against our country, we will explore nuclear options, on 9/11 when he went on TV and said that. So I think a lot of people just forget that. Yeah. CC Murphy says, I think they're afraid of the invaders and want to suck up to them so they'll be safe, or so they think. Yeah. 100%. Look at all the quote unquote intellectual leftists that the Ayatollah's regime took advantage of in the 70s in Iran, and then what they did to them afterward. I mean, they're useful idiots to them. Leftist freaks don't care about violence towards women because they don't know what a woman is. Well, I mean, it's selective outrage is what it is. Yeah. The woman has to meet certain criteria because, I mean, look at that one immigrant. She was an immigrant, the one that was on the bus. Not a peep. Nobody cared. No. Mother Slug says, I just watched the other night Joe Rogan strip down Steve-O from Jackass. on trans use of public bathrooms. The look on Steve-O's face when he got shafted. Yeah. You know what's funny? That's true. Bobby Vance said the left as a whole made fun of Trump for claiming that they're eating cats and dogs. And they fucking are. Hey, speaking of which, I love a good segue. Did anybody see that I posted this on Instagram? Now, granted, this was a video as well. I just took a screenshot of it. This is a migrant sitting on a bench eating a fucking rat. Anybody see this? I mean, that's legit. So he's working on skinning that rat. Yeah, absolutely. American Revolution argument about unrestrained democracy. What's the difference between one tyrant 3,000 miles away versus 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? Yep. Yep. Chow time. But yeah, I don't know. They need to remember why they sent Columbus across the ocean. Exactly. But you don't. They won't ever talk about that, right? It's, you know, the same with the revisionism of why they removed Columbus Day. Columbus Day had nothing to do with, 1492 and all that stuff. It had to do with a massacre of a bunch of Italian immigrants, but Italian immigrants don't rate anymore. Yeah, so we had to fucking delete that holiday. So. No, Billy, you're not late for rat stew. You're not late at all. Yeah, in the video, you can see like he is really working on skinning that rat. Yeah, if you guys didn't see my story on Instagram, like he is getting after that fucking thing. East Indians up here in Canada were videos with pigeons tied to long sticks being bounced, and when they try to fly away, they're jerked back down. Weird. Yeah. Keys Collect says Civil War wasn't a civil war at all. Accurate history changes the perception of things. That's true. That's true. People don't want to talk about. Yep. It's been almost 2 years since my friend was Minecrafted by an illegal. Oh, dude. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yep. That kind of took all the wind out of the sails of this disgusting joke, but I'm truly sorry. It sucks. Crystal Clear says, I saw it. It's fucked up. I've kept those as pets. James Lucas, what is up, my friend? Everybody was asking about you. I'm glad you're doing okay. I was told you were serving Ethiopian soup for lunch. Yeah, it's called water. Go get you some. Master Shredder turned into Cheddar Shedder. Anyway, going to move on from this. I think I got a thing. Hey, yeah, so play sets. No, we're going to get there. I promise we're going to get there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Speaking of which, I did screenshot this yesterday. I said I was gonna. Today's comment of the day comes from No Flag Points from yesterday's live stream, which, by the way, was pretty fucking rocking. No Flag Point says, I've done an unhealthy level of gunfighting in the sandbox. Now I'm tired. I just want to collect toys and take naps. I never expected to see so much bullshit has poisoned the well. Kind of going along with the slides we just showed and conversation we just had. But yeah, I just wanted to reinforce that. Y'all never tried rodent, rabbit, squirrel? I've had rabbit. Yeah. Yep. 100%. Water and mud biscuits. No. No, not doing that. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to reinforce that. Speaking of that bullshit, right here, bullshit poisoning the well. I get this message from a friend with this. It's not a video, it's just a screenshot. And it says, these guys are coming at you now. And I'm like, well, who the fuck are they? These four dudes, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I said, oh no. Oh no. I guess they think they can get in on the bump for themselves too. And then you see this right here. Yeah, and I said, so is that motherfucker. So yeah, you know, rabbit is game. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got this message. And then I was like, well, what the fuck is this picture? You know, the funny thing is, Milk Connors, AI is scary. Don't show that again. I'm going somewhere, right? Milk Connors made that picture of the fucking woke, you know, rainbow alphabet mafia pig for me. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll use it in the thumbnail. And all these fucking people that love me so much that they just have to hate on me were like, oh, fucking AI slop. Oh, fucking AI slop. Look at this picture of me. Be bold, be rad, be based as fuck. Well, you know, I am. Yeah. I guess that's me. Make beards great again. But yeah, there they are, right there. So then I went and looked. Remember the conversation we had yesterday about you will never find a hater who's doing better than you? Well, let's just. Ooh, I got a lot of thunder here, kids. Yeah, so I went and had a look, and you know, there's that. And there's that. I mean, you got to try really fucking hard. I wonder how early these people wake up in the morning just to fucking be mad about stuff. AI chat is scary. Don't show that again. Well, again, right? It's why I'm sharing it. So no AI images of you just Gorlock. Like this? Yeah. That ain't you. I can see a white Valaverse V in your beard. I got white in my beard. It's totally fine. Yeah. Mother Slug says, you're really famous that you're on their minds that much as they can't do for themselves. Yeah, that's the whole point, right? Gorlock, Gorlock, Gorlock. Garignac. Oh man, did a new group of Sallys find Chad and get their feelings hurt? No. Look, right? It's the whole, you know, it's the whole like we're trying to dogpile. So it's these 4 turds right here, right? And this is right. They're tied to Buffalo Bill. Yeah. Just like Tyrone is tied to Boog. Right. Tyrone jumped on fucking Buffalo Bill's crusade to try to get fucking points, ghetto cool points with Boog. Yeah. Well, Ronnie trick shot for fucking sure. And this Joe ARAH 42, they're trying to get you know, points with Bill. I don't know about new level. It's just the same. You know what I mean? It's the same old, same old. It's just funny. Yeah. Gerard O'Connor says, I've earned my silver. No shaving or dyeing permitted. Yeah, man. I'm proud of the gray in my beard. 100%. Hal Jordan, why would anyone want to be tied to that fucking walking nightmare fuel? I don't know. Yeah. Gonzo says, well, that's awesome. Haters out here making material for you. Cruise control, baby. Yeah. Leave the beard dye. Take the cannoli. Exactly. As they said so accurately in the first Godfather movie. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to share that because I got that this morning and I just had a little chuckle. I said, oh no. Oh no, not these guys. But again, all it does is it reinforces the same shit we talked about for 5 hours yesterday. You will never find fucking haters doing better than you. Never. Never, never, never. And it's just funny. In a sad kind of way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Crystal Clear is asking, is it bad when you start getting gray or silver hair before you turn 30, asking for a friend? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have any gray until I hit my late 40s. I think a lot of it's just genetics, man. So, oh no, they're going to roll us all. Looks like that's a recent channel. Guest channel needs subs. Great way to gain subs via hate pieces. I mean, I would say yes and no, but 39 views. And it's the same with Tyrone and his buddy that went at Skydrow Walker. Like they're not getting fuck all for views. Yeah, not even a little. Who's Buffalo Bill? Really? You don't know who Buffalo Bill is? You're better off. I'm just going to say you're better off. Yeah. Good news, says the Titan. If they ever go, quote unquote, after you, you'll smell the estrogen a mile away. Yeah. And probably patchouli and regret. Oh. Yeah. How many of those lowlifes would say that in person? None. None. Yeah. Even when Tyrone went to that con that Bobby and Jordan were at, he didn't say a fucking word to them. And then tried to turn around like, well, they didn't say anything to me. It's like, yeah, they're there to sell toys, not be a piece of shit. Your whole shtick is be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? When a dude needs to put alpha in his handle, I tend to not worry. Where's that? Oh, yeah. I don't know, whatever. And the Diddy oil. Nothing wrong with moisturizing, man. HGC says, my beard skipped gray and went directly white. Not even 50, man. Kenzo said, you leave Stinkor out of this. Leave Brittany alone. I don't know. Every now and then, when I see one of those clowns live, I always look at the watching, and it's never above 15. I mean, there's... I did it, a fool. Yeah, I mean, look, never bullshit a bullshitter, right? That's the old saying. People can always point out this disingenuine fucking bullshit. Like, no original thought, no nothing to talk about. It's the same thing when, you know, fucking Mall Punk Larry and his boys had to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to fucking do a whole stream about, you know, mocking classified simps and putting all the things that his fucking chat talks about into classified because we can't come up with anything original. Anywho, done with that. Let's talk about fucking playsets. Yeah. Stinkor did nothing wrong. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, playsets. I got a bunch of starred comments. Let me get through them's and then we'll get on. Crystal Clear says, if I had to pick one, I'd call my, quote, holy grail. It would be the original G.I. Joe headquarters. It's 1983 Headquarters Command playset. Thank you. That's the actual title from 1983. Such a fucking great playset. As is the Palitoy Action Force Z-Force Command Center. it is a wonderful update to the 83 headquarters command center. Crystal Clear also says, I've owned very few playsets. Real Ghostbusters Firehouse. Oh, that's Jeffy's jam. Ninja Turtle, Sewer Lair, Technodrome, if that one counts. Vehicle playset. Yeah, it counts. I mean, it does connect to the Sewer Lair. And the Jurassic Park Command Compound. Dude, I wish I had that fucking JP compound. I would G that thing up Joe style like mad. And then Crystal Clear's asking all of you, what playsets have you had? Have you had, and which one would be your holy grail? I don't know if you guys want to discuss that in the chat. Kevzilla says, my childhood was the late 60s to the early 80s. The majority of my play sets were mostly made by Marks, Dinosaur Mountain, Guns of Navarone. Oh, that fucking play set. There is a store here. It's in one of the malls. It's called GDE. The ma'am and I referred to it as god dang expensive. They have a sealed, boxed Guns of Navarone playset. Every time I walk in there, I look at it, and it never sells because it's, yeah. And then our backyard. Hell yeah, dude. Head cannon. Folks like to dump all over Battle Force 2000, but a group of vehicles that you could make into a playset was a good idea. That's true. And it was one of the first examples of build anything with that build-a-base. 100%. I think a lot of people don't give Battle Force 2000 the credit for that innovation in regard to taking vehicles, pulling them apart, and building a base. Yep. You had to have them all. Curbstomp says, I will have another general someday. Do you mean like you will have an additional, or you will get one again? There's a difference. I don't know which you meant. I had two. You guys know Tom Rock Viper Miller. He pops in the chats every now and again. Tom's a good friend, awesome guy. He gave the Mam and I a very, very beautiful housewarming gift when we moved off base into this house. And I gave that dude one of my generals. It all comes around, right? It's all on the wheel. So I had two generals. I knew I was going to downsize some stuff. He gave us that gorgeous housewarming gift. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pay that back. He came over for a visit. I was like, you should take this. He was like, I don't want it. Take it. Nicotronis, thanks to Kenzo, I printed out that amazing Masters Universe slime pit in 1/12 scale. And while not as big as Grayskull, it's functional and it's got presence. Dude, yes. You guys and that slime pit, fucking awesome. And that's how you do it, right? Spread the love. Share it around. Jim Largo says, bigger Star Wars and G.I. Joe vehicles were more like playsets. 100% agreed. Too big for a kid to fly or roll around the house. Yep. Yeah, that's why, like I said earlier, there's vehicles, there's vehicle playsets, and then there's playsets. So, Ken the Band. Outpost Defender was the only playset I purchased. I made mine with my imagination and our blocky end tables. I had such a great time with them as kids. Now, I remember when I was young. I mean, we're talking like 3, 4. So, yeah, 79, 80. I would take my Star Wars figures and I would put them in one of my grandmother's like high-end boutique ashtrays. And I would, I mean, the carpet was always our favorite play environment, right? And yeah, I would use my grandmother's ashtrays as vehicles. Yeah, they were clean, not dirty or full of cigarette butts. Menjoza says Fisher Price, Family Farm, and the Family Treehouse started my love of playsets growing up. So to me, they are the goats. I remember that farm. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. Keys collects. I want the Dragon Riders playset. I had, but only seen it once and wasn't prepared for the price. Yeah. That's the thing. Mother Slug says, speaking of Hoth and Florida, but I always found it mean to kids in Nebraska selling sleds at stores. Nebraska doesn't have hills. Oh. Womp womp. JJ Dubecki, I'm itching to pick up a Guns of Navarone playset. Little Green Army Men. Again, I know where there's one. It's boxed. It's in good condition. Cooter. In my play pattern, G.I. Joe commandeered everything from Castle Grayskull to the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, the fucking toy box approach. That's awesome, man. I saw a custom Castle Grayskull done up for Red Shadows, right? Because the skull is the face. And I thought it was pretty fucking rad. It was all black and red. Yeah, it was awesome. Bobby Vance says, I think the only Joe place that I had growing up was the 83 Headquarters Command Center. I had a good amount of the Battlefield sets. Yeah, the Battlefield accessories were awesome, right? And again, that all goes back to when toys were made for kids, when they were targeted to kids, and you had the higher end stuff and the lower end stuff. If you couldn't afford, the Headquarters Command Center or the transportable tactical battle platform or the TTBP, then you could get, Checkpoint Alpha or the Bivouac, something like that. Yeah. I miss those days. Those were the good old days when toys were toys and boys were boys. Lockstrife says favorite play sets, the MMC. I don't know what an MMC is unless I'm just not thinking of it. Do you mean Mobile Command Center, the MCC? Is that what you mean? The G.I. Joe Tackle Box of Freedom? I don't know. You got to let me know in the comments. I think you're saying MCC, but I'm not entirely too sure. Nerd alert. Freaking nerd. Imperial Attack Base is my favorite Kenner playset, the Exploding Wall. Yeah. Empire Strikes Back had some good stuff, man. Bear 11 Charlie, favorite. Hello? Am I freezing? Hello? Wow, look at that. It's got to be the weather. Bear 11 Charlie says favorite playset, a cardboard box and a blanket. See back to my ashtray vehicle comment. Mother Slug, playset, not a playset, but vehicle. I would have been knee deep in if Kenner ever released the dropship and APC from Aliens. Ugh. They were never made, never released, canceled line. Yeah, the dropship we talked about last week, and somebody said it went on to the VR. Yeah, the VR line. And the original mock-up designs of the dropship have been going around. I'd fucking love that. I have the Haya APC, and it is gorgeous. It's way too oversized because it's accurate, right? It's not scaled 118. It's accurate 118. Mother Slug says, coolest looking playset, in my opinion, was the Dragon Castle from D&D. The Fortress of Fangs, right? Yeah. It's pretty rad, yeah. Spikes and a jail and all that stuff. Yeah, Fortress of Fangs. Mother Slug, most expensive playset is Black Star Crystal Castle. I've seen that sell at auctions for $1,200 on up. That's nothing compared to complete Defiant. Nothing. Chump change. Yeah, that's about the cost of a complete flag right there. Complete. Notice I said complete. Because once you get the mast cap and the fantail deck rail, like not repro, but legit, you're easy. And the microphone, man, I'm sorry. The weather's going nuts here. You are easily talking $1,200-$1,300. Once you then get into Keelhaul with his silver gun, his sidearm, yeah. GoBots vehicle playset main ship that both turned into a giant robot was cool. I will say, yes, they are fucking awesome. I have one boxed. I have one loose. Yeah, I love it. It stands up. It's a playset. It's got the elevator. It's almost like a knockoff AT-AT Walker, even though I want to say it came before that. No, it didn't, as you were. No, it didn't come before that. HGC. I have the Fortress of Fangs my buddy gave me when he moved in 1990. I use it today as Masters of the Universe Snake People headquarters. I like that. Worst play sets are like the X-Men Danger Room or Star Wars lines where it was a hallway. What the fuck are you supposed to do with a hallway? Yeah, especially with the Hasbro Star Wars stuff, right? The Tanta V4 hallway, like you need several to make a playset, but they're like, oh, it's a diorama. G.I. Joe 66 says they need to make a pillbox playset that goes with the bunker you got. Yeah, pillboxes would be cool. Awesome playsets were Playmobiles. It wasn't just a playset then, they were vehicles as well. Mm-hmm. Vehicle playsets. Medieval Alchemist says playsets I had as a kid were Castle Grayskull and Ninja Turtle Sewer Lair. So much playability. Yeah, that's a word that's going out the window with toys, right? Well, not with Mattel, but or other companies. Just a certain one. They don't believe in playability. Carlos was asking Chad, have you found any new playsets at Walmart to customize? Nope, not lately. That's kind of slowed down a little bit. My Joe room is still not done. It's still not done. Cooking with Eric. The only playset I ever had as a kid was Guns of Navarone. There it is. It's a fucking great playset, right? Yeah. If I had fuck you money, I would have like a bunch of those just as like backdrop of displays, just to flex on that, because why not? Browncoat says the only real play sets that we ever had when I was a kid was Castle Grayskull and the G.I. Joe transportable tactical battle platform. That is such a fucking rad playset. I wish they had put out the Battle Corps Rangers version of that in 1995, but thanks, Ginger Kent and Alan Hassenfeld. It was never to be. G.I. Joe 66 said, I want to see the unproduced tower that they were going to make for G.I. Joe that you showed on the channel. You are talking about the proposed 87, 88. 88. I want to say 88. I don't know. Whatever. Late 80s Cobra Island playset. Yeah, it would have been 88. Mm-hmm. Because 85, you had the flag. 86, you had the Terrordrome. 87, you had the Defiant. 88, you would have had the Cobra Island. And, that's why now with like classified, they do the Joe Cobra. Joe Cobra is the same thing, bouncing back and forth. It would have been the fourth big playset. Yeah. That's still being worked on. So Duarte Studios and I were still working on that. He had to move. Things happen, right? It's causality. But yeah, I mean, all the renders and the files and everything are still being built. It's a giant fucking playset. The whole thing is 6 feet across. You have 5 pedals. One of them folds out. There's a lot of work. A lot of work. Mother Slug. That picture. Here's a great memory for everyone. Remember cap guns? Sure do. Can still smell it. Jim Largo says, Leonard the Core continued to make play sets, vehicles, and box gift sets long after Hasbro gave up on giving kids cool stuff. Yeah, by all means. Go look at Cotswold Collectibles. Tons. They have all of the Leonard stuff. Crystal Clear, almost forgot. I picked up a Kenner Aliens Hive play set about 10 years ago. Dude, that's awesome. With the mention of Playmobil, anyone ever use one of the castles as a headquarters for the Lord Scale Cobra forces? No, but I've seen people do it, but no, I personally haven't. Tyler, what's up? Maybe someone in the chat that has played GTA 5 can answer this. Does Monkey Business still have the? I have no idea. None. Kevzilla says, my first favorite playset was the Marx Giant Prehistoric playset. 2 giant mountains with caves, bridge, dinosaurs, cavemen. Cavemen! My next favorite was Mego Planet of the Apes Village. Those are some bangers. Fuck yeah, GoBots. I mean, you can see right here behind me, right behind my head, I always have Copter and Psykill. Gotta represent. Sigma 6 Dragonhawk was a cool dropship, but too small. That's true. It's sitting on my USS flag. Yeah, pretty rad. Apparently, Super 7 Invincible Bloody Variant Battle Beast is hitting GameStop. Okay. I don't know. Maybe better to get one of those Origins Castle Grey skulls on the cheap to make an anti-Eternia. Yeah. Bobby Vance says, I did have a transportable tactical battle platform. Very cool. My favorite playset as a little kid was the Imperial Attack Base, which was mislabeled, but my grail would have been an Air Raiders Command Center, so Sci-Fi Swamp Man. That's cool. Just going to leave this on the screen. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to give it the walking around money, but I'm just going to leave it on the screen. Wow.
What the hell is even that?
Dang. James Lucas, Terradrome is hands down my favorite Joe playset. 83 Headquarters Command Center and Mobile Command Center are awesome too. Chat is no frozen. Okay, well, I thought maybe something froze for a second because I couldn't click on stuff. Again, all I hear is just this massive thunder going on outside. STL files for Castle Hellskull. Yeah, that's cool. Hal Jordan says, I don't remember having many play sets in the 80s, but if I had to pick one or two, I would have wanted the Terradrome and Cat's Lair. You know, I have a favorite playset. I don't know if anybody wants to see it. I went and grabbed one of my shorts if anybody wants to see how I made my double-decker Terradrome. Gerard O'Connor, the Secret Wars Doom Tower. I know. Pretty much gets no love, but I loved playing with that thing once my big brother handed it down to me. Yes, that is true. It does not get a lot of love. A lot of people find it very underwhelming. Yeah. Ooby Dooby. I've had the 83 Headquarters Command Center and the General. My grail is all the Joe playsets surrounding the MASH headquarters. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go big, right? The Superpowers Hall of Justice is the shit, right? Yeah. Yep. It's a carrying case. It has that dollhouse opening feature. Lots of bright colors. Bear 11 says Guns of Navarone playset was hours of fun. Yeah. Carlos, I had the OG 83 Joe Headquarters Command Center. I can't not say that. I don't know why. Yoda's Dagobah playset with the foam. And Castle Grayskull. Awesome. Hey, who doesn't want a mobile mortar launcher? I mean, I do. You know, IRL for freedom purposes. Jedi Ben, I've had most of what I want on playsets and grails with two exceptions. I would like a Defiant and a General. I saw a sealed and graded at a shop in Fort Lauderdale this summer, $16K. Defiant's very expensive. Very, very, very expensive. And here's the thing. I was never really a fan, and I have one, and I don't know if that's shitty, but yeah, I don't. The Defiant, it's the only thing that really holds up on the Defiant is the crank mechanism. Like that thing is bulletproof. Everything else is. The blue doors like shatter if you breathe on them wrong. The whole thing buckles under its weight, and so the tracks all sit like this at warped angles. Yeah. HGC would love to see a 1/18 scale Guns of Navarone playset. The 2000s Cobra Mountain playset doesn't cut it for me. Well, yeah, the Valor versus Venom, Spy Troops. I have the playset open and the box is sitting on a shelf, but I'm not looking at it right now. So again, right, enthusiasm over expertise. I'm not like a fucking Total Recall encyclopedia. But that Cobra Mountain playset, it's just the Geonosis Arena from Attack of the Clones. I mean, it even has a molded battle droid on the floor. I still like it. It's still cool, but yeah, I feel you. After the Cobra Island deal is all said and done between me and Duarte and the March that Suka and I have been working on, after those two are done, I want to work on, and this is like when we talk about grails, I want to make the stuff that was like never made and shit like that, or update old stuff. But I want a true 1/18 scale mask Boulder Hill. You know, probably like make the mountain out of foam and stuff like that. But, you know, I want their Knights of the Round Table kind of conference room and all that stuff. I want the whole 9 yards, and I want the Rhino to be able to fit through the doors. Which G.I. Joe headquarters vehicle was the one that opened like a tackle box? The Mobile Command Center. Yep. And it was re-released later in the aughts, just recolored. Oh, hell yeah, Fort Apache playset. Yeah. The Mobile Command Center. Thank you, Matt. That's what I thought you meant. Yep. I've been slowly piecing together a command compound to add to my Kenner Jurassic Park line. That's awesome, dude. Hal Jordan says, I don't remember having many playsets in the 80s. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I already read this. My bad. I'm scrolling back down. Scrolling back down. Mother Slug, Black Star Castle. Talking back in the 90s, I haven't been to an auction in years, but they're expensive. Holy Grail's too many is what I meant. Gotcha. I get you. ASM says, Carlos, you can totally cut the seats to fit the Lord scale. You're talking about what? The Sigma 6 vehicle that he was mentioning? Yeah, absolutely. I just have it like a static display. It looks just fine. Whatever. Yeah. Hayden Panettiere, apparently she self-deleted. Mm-hmm. Mother Slug has an amazing thumbnail. Gorlock, Gorlock, Gorlock. Yeah, I was really surprised to see that. Jeffy and I, we were gaming some Wildlands last night, and I was like, oh, dude, Hayden Panettiere fucking deleted. Justin Booth says, I had the Batman the animated series Wayne Manor playset. That one was used from like 89 on. But yeah, it was awesome. It was basically a reuse. Yeah, exactly. 100%. For all your Leonard the Core needs, says Jeff. Thank you, Jeffy. Out there helping out. Tyrants of Wind Air Refinery playset. Nice. Mother Slug says, I know what your favorite playset is. It's the Cobra Missile Command Headquarters cardboard playset from Sears, right, Chad? No, but I do appreciate the fact that it is the only cardboard playset ever produced for a real American hero. So, you know, it has that novelty. Yeah. HGC says, I have the entire Air Raiders collection. I've been trying to think of a way to make a custom version of the unproduced Air Refinery. Oh, okay, yeah. That's what you were talking about. Jake Flunk. I love my Starcom Command Center has a cool airlock system that's like, yeah, the Starcom playset is fucking awesome, dude. I've looked at that thing numerous times and thought, what if I could do something with that? But yeah, it's too, I don't know how to describe it, like large of its own size of a smaller scale to be able to really do anything with it. And that's just me. But yep. Sectar's Hive. That is a gigantic freaking playset, man. Chris says, never had any playsets, unfortunately, but vehicles, I love the Warthog. Warthog's awesome. Yep. Carlos says it hasn't rained here in a month. Send those thunderstorms to DFW. It hasn't rained. No, it rained last night here in Albuquerque. Okay, I'll tell it to go your way. I'm a hoarder. Am I a hoarder? I believe I heard less than 5,000 Defiants were made. I don't know the exact number, but it's yeah. Mm-hmm. Starriers. Yeah, man. Yeah, with the cobra, the snake on the front, and it kind of opened up. Absolutely. Dude, bro. I just recently saw a collection photo someone posted. Motherfucker had like 5 complete Defiants. Good for them. That's a lot of real estate. That's a shitload of real estate. We are listing playsets we had when we were kids, asked Dan. I had Gray Skull, Snake Mountain, Fried Zone, Slime Pit, Eternia. Nice, dude. Brave Star, Fort Carrium. I want to say it was Fort Carrium. Right? Fort Carrium. And the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Nice. If you were going to redesign or update a playset, Double-Decker Terradrome, which one would you tackle next? Well, I already answered that. Boulder Hill. Do you guys want to see my Double-Decker Terradrome? It's only a minute. The audio's not great. It's not. There's a lot of noise in the background. Because, air purifiers and stuff in my old German. But check it out. All right, so I keep getting asked a lot of questions about how did I make my custom double-decker Terradrome, and it's actually pretty simple. Obviously, it requires 2 Terradromes, right? But this is my complete Terradrome on the top, and then on the bottom, I have the shell of another Terradrome, but if you notice right here, I don't have this whole top piece, and the reason for that is it has to sit flush. I have to take the launch tube itself out. I went to Amazon and I got 16-inch round swivel stands for computers, and that's what allows both levels of my Terradrome to turn. If you notice, there's a gap here because the walls don't have this frame to clip into. Again, you gotta pull the launch tube out of it, get those swivel stands from Amazon, and they sit perfectly. That's how you get a double-decker Terradrome. There you go. Yeah, and it swivels 360 degrees top and bottom. What is the company that had a 1/18 scale generic playset available through Amazon? It all gray, has an upper and lower level. Yeah, I know the exact one you're talking about. It's not available on Amazon anymore, but it's available through the official company. It's like a person's name, like Tom's Toys or something like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody will put it in the chat, but yeah, I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. I almost bought it a couple times. I almost bought it, and I was like, nah, I got enough third-party stuff with click and play and all of that, like Quonset huts and shit. I don't need it. Wasn't a fan of American Defenders or the Core, but they made so many fun things that worked for Joe. Repaint after repaint. That is true. They absolutely did. American Defenders had some cool shit. They both did. Yeah. That's self-deleting. I mean, we could split hairs about it, but yeah. I don't want to get into the minutia of it, but there are a lot of people, with true, honest disabilities out there who would love to have the lives of some people who, if you off yourself, like everybody wants to, oh, Amy Winehouse, so tragic. That's not tragic. She fucking did that to herself. I'm sorry. It's not. It absolutely isn't. Yeah. Not sure if anyone remembers, I had a Transformers cardboard set that was supposed to be the Ark. I don't remember that. Not even a little. Vulcan Rock from Power Lords. Power Lords. Nobody ever talks about Power Lords. I always wanted the truck from the end of Tango and Cash. Yeah. Chad's hoarding the weather. Chad's hoarding the weathers. Talk amongst yourselves. The Defiant, I sent you pictures of the other day, got destroyed. Oh, man. Somebody drove. Dude, what? Somebody drove a forklift through the middle of the box. That's fucked up. Yeah, I showed it. I'm sorry. I did. I showed it. My neighbor had the Jawa Sandcrawler. Yeah. Land of the Jawas is what it's called. It's a great playset. It swivels? Yeah. The top and the bottom swivel independently like this. The thing is, like, you don't want to like spin it, right? Because then the weight of it. Yeah, but both the top and the bottom are on the 16-inch diameter computer monitor stands. Yeah, so I can, if I turn the bottom, the top kind of does that, and then I can turn them both. One clockwise, one counterclockwise. But it's a static display, it's just fun to walk in there and like turn it every now and again. Yep. Jake says I had a lot of fun with my Ewok Village playset back in the day. Yeah, dude. And then it got reused for Robin Hood, but that's awesome. Yeah. That's it. Timmy. Ha, Timmy. That's the name of the fucking playset. The company. Timmy. There you go. See? The fucking chat. The chat is law. That poor second terror drone was cut. No, it wasn't cut up. It wasn't cut up at all. First of all, the bottom one wasn't complete. It was not complete. Secondly, all I did was I took the crown off of it. I didn't cut it up. You literally just take the two pieces off. Take the crown off, remove the launch tube. They just come right out. And then it has a flat top. And that's where I set the monitor swivel stand. I did not destroy. No, I didn't destroy a 80% complete terror drone. No, fuck no. I would never do that. I still have the parts. Yeah, they're in a tub. Anything that I customize or update, I still keep the originals. I have an updated modern mast on my flag, but I still have my original. It's sealed up. It's in baggies in a bin. Yep. That's it. Rezakai got it. 100%. Timmy Star Attack Base. Still on Amazon? I thought they took them off. Maybe they put them back on. But if you go look at Timmy's website, yeah, they're there. You have to buy 4 of them to build a complete fort. Well, yeah, but no one suspects the Spanish Inquisition. The Spanish could use that right about now. Weren't we talking about that? Crazy Toylands were Captain Powers with the early laser technology. You'll burn your eye out, kid. The Captain Powers vehicles are fun. They're fun. Jay Bartlett's lifelong friend, Rob McCallum, the writer, director, all that stuff, the guy he did the Jan Rob Toy Show with, who's, also a friend of mine. Every time I see Captain Power stuff, I take a picture and I send it to him because he's always like, look at Captain Powers. Oh, dude, you had the Space 1999 Eagle? I'll count it as a playset. Yeah, I will count that as a vehicle playset for sure. And then some company just made a new 1/18 scale version of it, which I did not get in on that. Milt Connor says, I used anything to have a battle. I had these awesome Fisher Price 2-story houses that opened up. I think one was Sesame Street, but at 83 to 88, I didn't give a shit. Dude, that's awesome. More Timmer. Yeah. Jay Vincent sent you a picture of it on Instagram. eBay crazy prices as always. Go figure. Matt says, I love it when everyone quotes Monty Python about the Spanish Inquisition. I always go to History of the World Part 1. Pump the shit right out of your house. Ken the Band. I have a stack of Terrordrome wall/door panels. I found them at a yard sale years ago. I was going to make a custom base. Never did. That would be sweet. That'd be real fucking cool. Down with that. I know. You know, the thing is, I can't find the script. It's in a box. Like, I actually printed out a script. I have all the images and everything. I can't find the script. I didn't save the Word file. Yeah. You got a 90 what? IQ? What? I don't, what's a 99 Eagle at DFW. Did you really? You found a space 1999 Eagle at DFW this year? That's cool. I like the vendors that come to DFW where it's not just, 1/6 scale Joe, 1/18 scale Joe, da-da-da. You don't need a script, just wing it, man. The thing about the Thunderclap is that it's based on the Atomic Annie, Atomic Cannon, and there's a lot of stuff to discuss with that. So it's not just like winging it, there's a lot of detail involved in that. So the specific, atomic artillery shell and things like that. So I really wanted to do it justice. Fun fact, says Bobby Vance, the new space 1999 Eagle ship from Zika Toys. Yeah, Zika. The astronauts for that have heads sculpted by yours truly, and one of them is my likeness. Ladies and gentlemen, awesome. I'm glad to hear it, dude. I always love those little Easter egg things. Carlos says, yeah, it's nice, but it's $550. But again, right, it's a boutique thing. CC Murphy, got a dip. Wife unit is home. Kessler Restaurant replay. Thank you for joining us for your mandatory dose of daily shit ass. Daily dose of mandatory fun. See you later. Enjoy the wife unit. You missed me telling Jeff it. I guess I did, dude. I'm sorry. Is that when the ma'am called and I stepped away? Was it? I don't know. Crystal clear. I want action figures, vehicles, and at least one playset based on the following movies. These are non-negotiable. Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles. We're going to have to wait and see with Spaceballs, the sequel, if that standing agreement between Lucas and Mel Brooks is still a thing. I don't know. I know everybody says, oh, yeah, they still can't make toys. It's like, Lucasfilm's changed hands, so wait and see approach. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of wait and see approach. HGC's like, yeah, just do the video. You'll be fine. Would the Thunderclap be considered a playset? I mean, are we going to break this down Barney style? Okay, so there's the lead vehicle, there's the trail vehicle or the caboose. The the atomic cannon sits in a cradle, which is towed by the other two, and then it has legs. Maybe you could call it a vehicle playset because you just detach it, disengage it, and put down the legs, right? Yeah. The stabilizers. Yeah. Carb Stomp. I've been here the whole time. I had to download Hell Let Loose Vietnam and played the tutorial. That game is 100% PvP, right? It's just player versus player, online multiplayer. I wish it wasn't. I would buy Blazing Saddles figures. Kids, Wednesday, we're going to talk about where's the toys. That's what we're going to talk about. I have my list. Maybe you guys can come with your list. Flanman, buenos dias. What's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
What? No, you idiot.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. I want the Cobra pyramid base. That's not hard to make. Are you talking about Silent Temple? Silent Castle? Whatever. Silent Temple. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about like from Sunbow that like comes out of the fucking desert? Is that the one you're talking about? Unfortunately, yes, Hell Let Loose is PvP, but actually has a command structure. Actually, no fucking interest. Yeah. We all have our own likes and dislikes, and if I'm gonna get sweaty in gaming, it's gonna be the stakes of like completing these missions and moving on. It's not gonna be like, you know, I'm fighting some wall hack fucker in China or something like that. We ain't found shit, including Spaceballs toys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to think about that. Who are they going to sue? Oh my God. Spaceball 1 playset better come with a complete set of stunt doubles. You know, in another world, in an alternate universe, could you guys imagine? Everybody remembers the Darth Vader Star Destroyer playset, right? It was just like a big fucking cheese wedge with his meditation chamber from Kenner. That was not a very good representation of a Star Destroyer playset. Could you imagine if they did like a kind of tongue-in-cheek version of Spaceball 1 that was as fucking sad as that intentionally? That would be great. It better transform into Mega Maid and go from suck to blow. Oh, yeah. Look, Barney Ross is on the thumbnail, so we're going to talk about that. Barney Ross and Dutch are on the thumbnail. Yeah, we'll discuss that Wednesday. Nico's like, yeah, I had that playset and it sucked. I still have it. Yeah, in a cabinet. Only playsets I would have wanted back in the day would have been 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Nautilus, and anything from Ray Harryhausen, which at the time Clash of the Titans only made. Yep. That'd be cool. Tomorrow will be Wildlands after date night. I think Jeffy and I are playing Wildlands tonight after I stream with Headcanon. So plan accordingly. If anybody wants to jump on in. Yeah, I think we're good to go. We're at almost 3 hours. Anything else anybody wants to talk about before we wind it down? Gonna wind it down. Sorry, I have to get a bunch of stuff off my screen. What the hell's tomorrow? Oh, we have a poll, don't we? I want to say we have a poll. Adam Driver will play Mr. Sinister, and Indy Navarrete will go rogue in Marvel's. Adam Driver's going to be Mr. Sinister? Whew. I don't know. That's what MSN just said. Anybody? Adam Driver? Did you? Thoughts? Adam Driver is Mr. Sinister. Yes or no? I'm going to close this poll down. Oh, we don't have a poll. Where's the poll? Oh, I wonder if I put it in here too early. Damn it. Yeah, I had made a poll. And it was, which G.I. Joe fighter do you prefer? The Sky Striker or the Conquest? Apparently, I made that too early and it fucking disappeared. My bad. Ace's Place, just finished my live stream, and yes, Adam Driver is Mr. Sinister. My live was all about the MCU casting. Yeah, we kind of talked on some of that. Man, that sucks that the polls can disappear like that. Is that tongue in cheek? That feels kind of tongue in cheek. I don't know. Mother Slug. I love my old sci-fi classics. Sinbad and the Argonauts. Come on. The Sinbad and Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah. Who didn't want those toys back in the day? Well, we'll talk all about that on Wednesday. I forgot what tomorrow was going to be. That's how it goes. Nope, never seen the poll. The poll is in the strip club. HCC, good to see you, man. Yeah, I guess it just freaking disappeared. That's pretty lame. I want to gift some channel memberships, but I'm always very leery about that these days. Obvious reasons, right? Oh, tomorrow we're talking about robots. Robots. All the robots. Transformers, GoBots, fucking Voltron, whatever you guys want to talk about. We're talking about robot toys. Robots. I only know Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, so I don't want to judge his potential based on that. Yeah, he can act. Yeah, he's a good actor. Chad lost his pull. Shut the fuck up. Droids? Yeah, we can talk about droids too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I think he's a great actor, but it is what it is, right? Is he going to look like Mr. Sinister? That's kind of the thing, right? If it's Adam Driver with his weird, like, longish hair mullet thing going on. And look, Adam Driver was Marine Corps infantry, so I will always give him credit. But yeah, the dude can act. No. No. We can talk about Beady. If you guys want to talk about Twiggy, Mel Blanc, whatever, it's fine. Robots. Talk about them robots. Everything he does, he gives 100%. I'll give him that. Anyway, let's get on out of here. Thank you all for hanging out with me for another awesome Monday of mandatory fun. Remember, it's mandatory. I need Twicky and Buck. Yeah. Who knows? For all we know, he'll look human throughout the film until the post credits where he appears. Yeah, that's true. He could do like a big old reveal kind of a thing. Al Jordan knows what's up, man. Adam Driver is Mr. Sinister, is like Bushwookie is Emma Frost. Yeah, no, we're gonna talk about them robots tomorrow. Save your robots. Talk about tomorrow. Anywho, good to see you all again. Remember, tribalism is bullshit. Echo chambers are not a good thing. All that good stuff. Be good to yourself and each other, and blah 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 blah, and get this shit out of here. I love you. Bye. Robots, robots, Gorlock, Gorlock, Robit, Gorlock.
가소야리 구인가도 감기